So we are January the 31st already. I was watching a video last night. I watched a couple of astrologers and they pointed out something very interesting that I wasn't aware of. And I'm going to do a reading on it. And what it is that there is an alignment that is happening on the 20th of February, and it's Saturn. I think it's conjuncting. Is that what I wrote down? Saturn confronting Neptune, and it's going to be at 0 degrees of Aries, and this alignment has not come together. The last time that it has come together was, I believe, 4000 BC. So we've never gone through this conjunction before. And Saturn brings discipline and structure. And Neptune, I believe, is about, I believe it's about being insightful and imaginative. Like it has to do with your imagination. I haven't read much into it. I have books on the planets, but I haven't got into astrology because it's a little bit intimidating. So I Ching is my thing. I'm gonna stick with I Ching, I think. So what I asked was, what can we look forward to for the first half of the month of February 2026? And I'm just going to read on what I got from, I haven't read the I Ching yet. I did read a bit about the lines. So we have the first hexagram, which is, I did the hexagrams beforehand because it takes a bit of time. The first hexagram I got was 51, which is the arousing, and we have 3 changing lines, which means that this hexagram is going to transform into this one, okay? So we have 51, the arousing, and it's going to shift into 32, which is duration. So I'm going to read what the 51 is. So this hexagram is about arousing. So it says, and we have two thunder triograms, one on top of the other, and the other 2 triograms are thunder and wind. So we have thunder above thunder. So here both triograms are the same, thunder above thunder. So this hexagram denotes a time of sudden and dramatic change. The message is that you will have to deal with some very climatic and electrifying events in your life, and the way you handle them is very important. When unpredictable dramas unfold in your life, it is all too easy to be shocked that you are almost paralyzed, like an animal in a glaring light. On the other hand, these times can be very positive in the long term. When you go through such traumatic and purging experience, you come out on the other side with a new strength and understanding. After these serious traumas have passed, they leave you with a strong sense of joy and liberation that will carry you over into all areas of your life, giving you a rejuvenated sense of purpose. So we have the first line. The first line is a changing line, which means that this line is transforming into this line. We have a yang line. Yang line is a moving line. It's energy. It's yang is a moving energy. Yin is a stillness. It's receptive. So we have a yang line, and it is about the first line represents uncertainty. It's like the hidden dragon. It's like not, you're to yourself. The thunder triogram is about the shock It's about shock, impulsive, it's disturbing, because thunder, of course, is disturbing, right? Then then we have the second line, and I'm gonna read it in the book as well for the first line. So the first line says, events unfold which give you a nasty shock and chase you to panic. But this will pass and good fortune will follow. Don't let the initial surprise throw you off course. Okay. Then we have the second line, and the second line asks you to have the qualities such as compassion, inclusiveness, and understanding towards others. So the second line is dramatic disturbances in your life can cause you considerable loss, but you must adapt to the blows of fate in order to avoid an even bigger disaster. Like the willow tree, you must bend with the wind. Okay, then we have the third changing line. Third changing line is a yin line, so it's receptive. The third line is able to remain persevering. So the third line is the hammer blows of fate seem to rain down on you relentlessly. You must find the inner strength to cope and actively seek a way out of the situation, or life will become very difficult indeed. Okay, so that is the first hexagram. The second hexagram, we have number 32, duration. So we have thunder triagram. The first triagram on top is thunder. The bottom triagram is wind. So here we see a kind of reverse mirror image of the previous hexagram, with thunder above and the gentle wind below. The image here is the rolling thunder and blowing wind, apparently the very antithesis of duration. Yet this is the paradox that you must understand. If you think of duration as meaning a standstill, a kind of grim hanging on, this can lead only to stagnation and eventual death. But the ancient Chinese saw duration as being a very dramatic quality, the concept of change as a universal law requires one to cope with the constantly shifting sands of life with forethought, dignity, and understanding. Conservatism, and traditionalism are also inherent in this hexagram, in that the best way to handle changes in life is through the experience of traditional values. You need to have flexibility and strength to accommodate change without sustaining structural damage. Now we have the three changing lines, so let's read the first line and see what the first line will be changing into. So the first line is, faced with the need to make changes in your life, it would be all too easy to rush at it. However, this will only create more problems in the course of time. Take things slow and patiently now, your rewards will be much greater. The second line is a yin line, and it's going to change into a yang line. So it's going to move, it's going to shift, because this is a receptive line, this is a moving line, it's going to create change. So the second line says, there is every chance that you might get a bit carried away at this point. Curb your overenthusiasm and scale down your own dreams and ambitions. You are more likely to succeed if you move slowly and steadily. Okay. And then the third line is a yin line, and it's shifting into a yang line, which is a moving line. So the third line is consistency is the key here. You cannot let yourself be buffeted around by every new idea and proposition that comes your way. This is a recipe for chaos. You need to seek out the calm at the heart of your own personal vortex, for it is there that you will find stability. Okay? So that is the reading for the 1st of February, I would say, until about what would be the middle of February, would be probably around the 16th. No, 28 days. So, yeah, the 14th. So it would be around the 14th of February, would be about the middle. But we do have that conjunction. We also have Mercury going retrograde on the 26th, and it'll be retrograde for probably about 9 weeks. And that's going to be interesting. We also have a total eclipse on the 17th. So that's going to be quite fascinating. So Saturn turns on the Saturn turns. Let me see my notes here. Saturn moves into Pisces in Aries. No, out of Pisces and into Aries on the 14th. And that the last time that happened, that was 1861. And then Saturn will conjunct Neptune on the 20th, and then we go into retrograde, Mercury retrograde on the 26th. And yeah, so it's going to be an interesting month, I think. So maybe we need to use the I Ching to help us guide us through these interesting times. All right, have a good day.